Dear colleague, I am Domenico Mallardo from Istituto Nazionale Tumori Pascale Naples, Italy, of the Melanoma Cancer Immunotherapy and Development Therapeutic Unit, headed by Professor Paolo Antonio Ascirto. In this video, I will show you our data presented at last SITC, where we investigate the role of CD39 and how it can affect the prognostic role of NLR via N2 neutrophils in metastatic melanoma patients treated with immunotherapy. But what is NLR? NLR is just a ratio between neutrophils to lymphocyte. We know in literature that is strongly related to bad prognosis in patients with sepsis, in patients with COVID-19, in cardiovascular disease, but also in patients with cancer. So we start this gene profile analysis in order to better understand why these patients with high NLR have a bad prognosis. And that's are the patient's characteristics. We investigate on 78 metastatic melanoma patients treated with in first line with immunotherapy, of which 23% of them have a brain metastasis, and 21% of them have a BRAF mutation. All of them are treated with an anti-PD-1 agent, of which 6-7% are treated with nivolumab and 33% are treated with pembrolizumab. From all patients, we take PBNC from baseline, and from this, we extracted RNA and did the pan-cancer IO gene expression panel. First of all, we evaluated the best cut point of NLR, and how you can see the cut point is 5.57. It's very close to the data that are in literature. There are mostly about 5. And that's the curve. How you can see, we confirm this data. In fact, the patients with high NLR have a bad, very bad progression-free survival, but also a bad overall survival. Moreover, in the multivariate analysis, we observed that patients with brain metastasis are related to NLR. We know in the melanoma field, but also in all cancer patients, that patients with brain metastasis have a bad prognosis. So in order to avoid some bias, we did a subgroup analysis. And you can see here, also in patients with brain met, but also in patients without brain met, we have the same things, or better, that patients with high NLR have a bad prognosis, have a bad outcome in terms of progression-free survival, but also in terms of overall survival. After this, we start the gene profile analysis via PLSD model, and you can see here that are the genes mostly related to NLR. From this, we select genes with a high loading, and for cut point in this time, we choose the 0.2. And this is the rock curve of our signature that is composed by 3 genes. But how you can see here, the house C is 0.97 with a sensitivity and a specificity over 0.9. And that's are the gene. How you can see here in the PCR plot, we are genes. There are 2 genes related that are LDHA and IL-18R1 that are more relating respect to the gene CCNA1. And how you can see in the heat map, there are several genes that are upregulated in patients with NLRI, and several genes that are downregulated in patients with in the same group of patients, and these genes are very different respect the other group of patients. This is true also in terms of fold change. In fact, as you can see here, the patients with NLR high have a higher expression of ERG1, MMP9, that is a genes related to tumor metastasis, but also about the genes S100, that is genes of inflammation and that have a key role in the inflammasome. And we have also Wnt genes like Wnt, FGF13, and other several genes related to inflammation and tumor growth. So, in summary, we can say that patients with high NLR have several genes related to this. From this, we have CD39, that is a genes involved in the adenosine pathway, and we know that adenosine pathway is a kind of pathway that is strongly related to immunosuppressive pathway. But also we have genes like P10 or MyoD that are genes related to tumor growth, but also we have MMP9 that has, as I said before, that is a genes related to tumor metastasis. But if we have this associated with this gene that are positively associated with NLR high, we have also several genes that are negatively associated with the group of patients with NLR high. And how you can see here, most of them are genes related to immunactivity. Moreover, we also observed that higher expression of CD39 is associated with the markers of N2 neutrophils. So, in this group of patients, we have two things. If in one way, we have a higher expression of N2 neutrophils with the activation of adenosine pathway. On the other hand, we have several genes related to pro-tumoral genes and inflammation genes. So, in conclusion, we can say that we confirm the data in literature about NLR and outcome. And what we found? We found that in patients with NLR high, there is are related with immunosuppressive, inflammatory, and tumor-related genes. But also, in this group of patients, there is the N2 neutrophils that are associated with adenosine pathway activation, and this could explain the prognostic role of NLR. Moreover, we found also a gene signature that can predict the NLR variability, but for sure, further investigation are needed to get additional information. And some weeks ago, we publication or data to Journal Translation Medicine. So if you want, there are several information that can explain better our study. And that's all. Thank you for your attention.